Over the past month, I have been decluttering in many spaces in my house, and it has added up to a ton of items that we will be saying goodbye to and parting with and no longer have as inventory in our house. And it feels amazing. Hello and welcome to today's video. It's me, Melissa. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, subscribe if you want to subscribe. Like this video, comment down below hi so I can say hi back. This is a huge, mega decluttering video. At least for me, this is the most items I have ever decluttered at one point in my life, and I'll tell you what, it feels amazing. Although it wasn't, like over 1 day or 2 days. With my lifestyle, I am currently pregnant. We have 3 children. Up until a couple of weeks ago, I was working outside of the home. I have a lot of responsibilities. For me, it's been a month of decluttering to get all of this stuff together, and it's gonna feel amazing to finally get it out of our house. It's not ideal that it takes that long, but it's what works for me and for our family. Holy cow, this stack is massive, and we're getting rid of the couch too. So there's a couch going, there's a giant TV going, there's a computer screen, there's a bunch of craft stuff, a bunch of stuff from literally all over the house. This has depth in here, like the couch is filled, and there's stuff on the ground. And this doesn't even include my clothes from my closet and the toys I'm getting rid of for the kids' consignment sale. Oh, and all of the baby clothes that I'm getting rid of. Whew, it feels amazing. So in my son's closet, we did a huge declutter and move around, reorganize type of thing, and got rid of a bunch of stuff, probably almost at least 50% that was in his closet. So this is the pile of stuff that we got rid of from his. It consisted of some small Halloween costumes that didn't fit anymore, some Halloween costumes that just we either never wore, I bought really cheap on clearance and we never wore, or I don't think that this next baby is going to wear. It also consisted of some toy boxes that we were saving for some reason, and now I'm like, why were we saving those? This also consisted of some dress-up items that have literally sat in this closet for years, and we have never gotten out. They have their dress-up stuff that they like. We don't need this stuff. It also consisted of some smaller clothing items for my son, and we're not having another boy, so getting rid of those, and just some items that I asked him about that he said he will not wear. So if he's not going to wear them, I'm not going to make him. I'm going to get stuff or just keep the stuff, because there's only a few church items that we keep in there. I just keep the stuff that he will wear and don't even need to keep the things that he won't. I did a huge declutter of 222 items. I'll link that video down below, or my decluttering playlist down below, as a collaboration with some awesome gals. So I decluttered 222 items in this batch of stuff. The majority, well, no, about half of which, or a little over half, came from my master bathroom, which included pregnancy tests, which I don't need anymore. I am pregnant and we are not planning on having another. This also had like some ovulation tests, so I'm going to try to donate those, the unopened ones, obviously. The open ones I used and threw away. Anyways, to either a women's shelter or something like that in my area. It consisted of lotions that I never used. I get gifted lotions and sometimes I just don't use them. It consisted of, some trash items, like I think there was an aloe vera thing that had just a little bit left in there that just needed to go. Some hair care products that I was never going to use again. Some makeup that I was never going to use again, which, again, I'm going to try to donate, or my sister actually is going to get a little bit of it. And it had some jewelry that I was never going to wear again. It had, along with the makeup things that I stored my makeup in, and now that I cut it down, I do not need those storage things anymore. It had some makeup brushes. There was some empty bottles of lotion. Why did I have okay, my reasoning behind that was keeping them to know the scent that I liked later, but I decided my tastes have changed and I don't need to know that scent anymore. Along with that, there was a bin that I got rid of. There was a bunch of stuff in there. And then also I decluttered some board games that we're not going to play with anymore from my kids' closet. I think there was like 2 things of cards that we're not going to play with, and some clothes that needed to be decluttered from my husband's drawer. Like literally we made the drawer empty because we got rid of that stuff. And I had a few things. I'm going to do a huge closet declutter and down to like a capsule wardrobe here pretty soon. But there was a couple random things that are stored in my closet that I got rid of. Just things that were not being used by us, and I have gotten to the point where I am ready to let those go. We had also accumulated some things from my husband's. He has like a game room down there, so we're getting rid of this big TV that we no longer have a use for. We're getting rid of this couch, this huge couch that we do not need anymore. We got nugget couches for Christmas, and I want more space in our basement for our kids to play on those. And we have this big sectional couch already down there that is enough seating for us, that we don't need that couch anymore. I bought this old sewing machine a long time ago, probably like 5 years ago, at Goodwill, thinking that I would eventually use it as a decoration. My tastes have changed and I no longer want to use that as a decoration, so that huge heavy thing is leaving our house. There's also been a lot of toys that we have decluttered over, that's probably longer than a month, just kind of like accumulating them as the kids aren't playing with them and putting them away. Some of which my kids did declutter before Christmas, and I told them I'd hold on to them for a couple of months until and see if they asked for it. If they didn't ask for it, then they're leaving. So that is also in this stack. There is a ton of craft supplies in here. Oh, I think this was longer than a month ago. I just need to get rid of the stuff right when I decide to get rid of it. But instead of storing it in our basement, I know my husband would love that. But I decluttered a whole bunch of craft supplies, which I did get rid of about half this past weekend for my sister-in-laws. I checked to see what they wanted, so they wanted some of the stuff. But there's a bunch of craft supplies that I bought years ago and now have decided I do not have time for all of those projects, so the majority of them are going. I kept a couple project things, but that is it. So basically just a ton of stuff that we have in our house that is not getting used and will not be used. Whew, you have to excuse me, I've got a bit of a cold today. I have been going on this more minimal, intentional, simple kind of living journey over the past probably year and a half. And it has taken me a long time to think the way that I think. To look at an item and say, I do not use this, I will not use this again. And fight the thought of, but wait, Melissa, I will possibly, maybe, like there's a slight chance that I might need this. That thought is still in my mind about a lot of things that I get rid of. But I have to rationalize with myself, and I have to say, I haven't even thought of this item in a year, 2 years, 3 years. I did spend money on it, and that hurts to be able to get rid of something, especially if I'm just donating it. When I have spent money on it or found a bargain on it, I love my bargains. But as I've come along this journey, it is better for me mentally not to have that item anymore. For one, it's not in the inventory in my house. And for two, I don't have to look at it again and feel guilty about spending money on it or saving it and having space in our house for it and then never using it. And the stuff that I've gotten rid of, have I thought of it since getting rid of it? I don't think so. And the bigger items I usually think about for a while, like that couch, we've been thinking about for months whether we're going to get rid of it or not. The smaller stuff is a little bit easier because if I need to repurchase 1 out of 50 things that I decluttered, then it's not that much money, $10, $20 or something that I need to go spend my money on. It is very freeing and does so much for me mentally, which then affects, my whole family. Having less stuff in our house makes it easier to clean, which makes more time for family, which also makes me happier because I'm not spending a ton of time cleaning. I mean, my house is not a minimalist house, I would say, but I would say that my mindset is becoming more minimal and more intentional with how I spend my money, what I bring in the house, getting rid of things that we don't need in this house, and what I spend my time on. And that's really the purpose behind minimalism, or at least the way that I see it. I don't have white walls, although we did get some free white paint, so I might be having white walls soon because I do love white walls. But got tan walls now. I think a lot of minimalists have white walls, which, again, I might be one of those. But I do have empty drawers in my house, but I still have a lot of clutter. I have a family of almost 6, and it does come with that. But I am working on it, and especially the spaces that I am solely in charge of, I am working on making them more minimal so that it is just better on me mentally and physically. Well, that was a little more than I was going to say at the end of this video. But I really hope that you got some motivation from this video, took something away from it. Let me know in the comments any thoughts or feelings that you have on decluttering and this type of mindset. I would love to know what you are thinking, or just say hi and I will be able to say hi back. Thank y'all again so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day.